Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this. I wanted to go over the persuasive speech results with you. And again, if there's any major problem, it is a failure to read and understand and carry out the instructions, the directions for what you're supposed to do in the speech. Let's go to the obvious ones. The time requirement, 7 to 10 minutes. Some of you did not do that, and basically that would mean that it couldn't be less than 6 minutes and 45 seconds or more than 10 minutes and 15 seconds. All right. Also, speaking outline and preparation outline, those were both required. There's a format that needs to be followed. In some cases that wasn't done, and that's something that, again, you want to pay particular attention to. Organization, the strategic order, Chapter 8 is the most common for this kind of persuasive speech. It says that in the directions. You want to pay attention to it. Visual aids. At least one visual aid is required for this speech. The accuracy, clarity, and appropriateness and usefulness of your visual aid will be part of your evaluation. We'll talk about that. Sources. You need 4 sources are required for this speech. Consider the legitimacy, recency, credibility, balance, and accuracy of your sources. You must cite your sources in a bibliography. And little things like that. Now, some of the things that we were looking for. Introduction, body, conclusion, delivery, overall evaluation, and outlines. Outlines are being evaluated in this speech. Introduction. Did you get attention? Did you introduce the topic clearly? Did you establish your credibility? Main points. Are your main points clear? Is your reasoning clear and sound, etc., etc., etc.? It's all there for you to read. Now let's talk about what we ended up with. Darts. You talked about organ donors, and you did not cover, and it kind of screams for it in a speech like this, why do some people choose not to donate their organs? Now, this is not they didn't know about it. This is, why do some people choose not to donate their organs? Are there religious reasons? Are there reasons of what? And that's a part of it. And in talking about that, you could kind of dispel that if you wanted to. Now remember, in persuasive speaking, this part of your audience is already on your side. This part of your audience will never be on your side. All right, so who are you trying to reason with in this? Well, there's the group in the middle. The ones that are already on your side, you've got. The ones that are never going to come on your side, you're never going to get. So pitch your speech to the people that could be persuaded, and then give them the kinds of persuasive information that'll help them go to that way. We're talking about darts. You're reading your speech way too much. There's too much camera noise. I mentioned this before. It is very hard to hear you. You are fumbling through your speech. There's no flow. You're reading. You're not talking to the audience, and talking to is not talking at. It's conversational. You have no passion. This is a persuasive speech. You've got to be passionate about what you believe. It's critical to get this done in a speech, and that is passion. Your reading your speech makes you come off as disinterested, and also you have no energy, and you don't inspire through that lack of energy. You don't inspire action. Your examples are bland, and one of the exact wording is, there is no need of many organs. There is a need of many organs. That's what you said. There is a need of many organs. And you also are supposed to send me a copy of your visuals so that we have that. Next up is Barbie. Barbie spoke about plastic surgery. You have absolutely the wrong camera shot. You're shooting up into your face. from down low. We've talked about this numerous times. No outlines in proper format submitted. You have sources, no sources cited in written material. Remember now what I said. I didn't say you didn't submit outlines. I said they're not in proper format. Stand still. You sound completely distracted from your topic. You state statistics without sourcing them. That's a huge no-no. There were too many things wrong with this speech. You use the term I mean. That's like you know, and it's a vocalized pause. Way too much. It's as though nothing that has been said this semester has registered with you. You're rambling. Your ending was detached from your speech. And you said at one point, it might not look or mean nothing. And your reasoning lacks logic and factual basis. All right, next up is McLovin. You talked about the smart grid technology. There's no energy. Again, you got to have energy. And you have some background noise that is drowning you out at the start of your speech. You want to be in control as much of the environment as you can at all times. You're reading your speech. There is no passion. You don't mention consumer costs of the things that you're advocating, and what will it cost to adapt to the new directions. You don't deal with who pays for the implementation of the smart grid, and you just show, you also showed no visual. Visual is required. You, in terms of credibility, being a consumer of electricity is not credibility. It's a fact of life. It's a survival factor. It's not necessarily credibility. You were short on the length of your speech. You ran 6 minutes and 38 seconds. You come off somewhat strident, not conversational, and in fact, you look angry in what you're doing. You want to be kind of warm and fuzzy in these kinds of things if you want to get people on your side. Next up is GEMM, G-E-M-M. You spoke about nutrition and aggression. This was an excellent opening to a speech. Your credibility on teaching is good, and you established that, but where is your credibility on nutrition? Okay? You are reading too much of your speech, but you do read it effectively. You have a nice chart for a visual. You were supposed to send me a copy. You didn't do that. It was an interesting topic, well presented, with a good flow. What are the supplements that you talked about, nutritional supplements? What are they? What form do they take? How much do they cost? Where do you get them? Those kinds of things. What's the cost going to be to change, like the cafeteria kinds of things we talked about? You had an excellent call to action. You showed great improvement over your first speeches. Well done. This was pretty close to as good as you can get in a speech, especially this particular topic. You got a lot of excellence on this for your score. Next up is Swordfish. You spoke about online classes. It was a rough opening. It lacked an organized flow. What about taking classes online, like a speech class? Not all classes adapt to online, and people in this class will tell you that. The camera shot was too close. You need to work on flow. There is much more than convenience for you in terms of online class. You use an example from Fuller College that may not be true of all online or all degree programs. You want to be careful talking about online and then saying that you can get an entire degree entirely online. In fact, there have been some comments made that some of the classes that students take online, some of our major partners will not accept the online credit because they don't like that you took the class online. So you want to make sure that you don't make overarching statements and that kind of thing. You have too many pauses and disruptions in the flow. You use well then too much. You said they understand if you're in an online class, but they're only going to be so understanding. That fits face-to-face. I'm not sure what that has to do with an online class. A lot of people in online classes do not know a great deal about technology. That's one of the huge factors in people taking an online class, finding out there are still a lot of people that have dial-up communication for getting online. You sent me a picture of a computer. You don't reference it in your speech. I have no idea how, other than online computer. Is that why you're doing it? You got to mention it in your speech. Online courses do not abrogate college degree requirements. You also never mention any of the downsides about online classes. Do you know the dropout rate in online classes? It's colossal. It's colossal. This class alone had 10 students, we'll say, drop before the first assignment was due. There are colossal dropout rates in online classes. And don't quote the same source twice as what you're doing. Okay, that's it. I wanted you to have this on hand before you got into your special occasion speech. Please read the directions. Please understand what you need to do in the speech, and then follow those directions through in your completion of your topic. That's how you will succeed. Okay? I'll get the scores updated in Blackboard, and I'll send out an Excel spreadsheet update too. All right, good luck on your special occasion speech. Please don't leave points on the table. There are 20 more points on the table for discussion groups, discussion board. You also have an exam that's on the table, and you have one last speech to do. So pay attention. All right, have a great one.